Hey all, Happy New Year. Today is New Year's Day. I'm here because I got started into something a couple of months ago. I got started into dry brushing ceramics. So my friend's mom, Sam's mom, Deb, Mom Spice, got me started on this. So I'll tell you a little bit more as I go along, but I wanted to create a compilation of videos because it's a process. It doesn't just happen overnight. I mean, it does, but it can. So I just wanted to, show, because there's been a lot of interest from people I've been talking to about how to do this and where can I, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to show you, make a compilation of this from start to finish. So first, I have palette paper. I'll get into it later, but I started a painting class and then I quit. So let me move that a little bit. There we go. I started a painting class, so I have palette paper. You can use a paper plate, a plastic plate, whatever. And then the one thing that I learned that you need is good paint. So I had originally got Crafter's paint. It's the store brand, basically like the cheap brand from Hobby Lobby. It's only 49 cents a container. It's not great. It is very loose and translucent, and it doesn't hold. It's not good. You have to put multiple layers on. I still have it, and I'm still using it to mix things or whatever, but it's not the best. What I found, which is pretty good, is Barrell multi-surface. I got the satin. I really probably should have got the matte, but whatever. So I'm gonna start. I give it a little shake, and I'm gonna put it. Got a little blurb here. Put it on my palette. Again, you can use a paper plate. You can use whatever you want. I have the palette paper, so I'll probably use that. So the basis for dry brushing, from what I understand, you can hear it coming out, is you put on a dark base. So you put on a black base, and then you lighten the color and go up. And what you do is you use it with a dry brush. And I have a thing here, towel, an old crappy towel. So you use a dry brush. I'll get into it later, but and what you do is you end up bringing the color up. So you go from black to like a gray or a red, and then you lighten your red up, or you lighten your white up. So like I'm gonna do a snowman. So I got these snowmen, a couple bucks, and I'm just gonna start talking. I have a big ass brush here, and I don't know how I want to start this. I usually have a different shirt on because I usually get paint all over myself, but I'm wearing black, so I figured why not just do the black. I can wear black, it's fine. So I got these at Michael's, and they're great. So I wanted to take a painting class. I wanted to do something for me that was going to be a stress reliever and make me happy and kind of put me in a different frame of mind at times when I needed it, when I was stressed out or, feeling bored or whatever. So I started a paint class. It was oil painting, which I didn't realize that's what it was. And it just didn't go as well as I had expected it to. There was an instructor in there, and she kind of yelled at me over something. And, I don't know what I'm doing. And I said it a million times in class, and I will fully tell everybody that I know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not an artsy, craftsy kind of person. I like to think that I am. I mean, I'm getting there, but anyway. So I quit after a few weeks. But like I said, I picked up some valuable things to do, like paintbrushes and the palette paper and how to mix and, stuff like that. So then I said, well, I'm going to paint nutcrackers, like wooden nutcrackers. So I got that. And then I was like, oh, let me try my hand at ceramics. I think this was the first one. No, I got a tree. I think it was the first thing I tried, or I was going to try. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I keep lying. The first thing I tried was the nutcrackers that I made of me and Ryan. And then I made a camper and a truck for my in-laws, Tim and Kathy. And then Deb said, have you ever tried dry brushing? I said, no, I have no idea what you're talking about. And we talked for like an hour and a half on the phone one night, and she taught me how to do it. And it's something that I have been enjoying doing this, the past holiday season, and I want to continue doing it because it brings me happiness, it brings me joy, and I feel like I kind of know what I'm doing, and I can be artistic in my own sort of way. And the best part is if I don't like it, I can always paint it over. I did that, actually. The first and only session I had with Deb, I didn't have the right materials. I had the crappy paint. I just had like a brush like this. Like I didn't have any specific dry brushes. And I mean, it turned out okay. It wasn't fabulous, but it was all right. Yeah. I usually have a fan on, but my fan's not plugged in right now. My overhead fan is, but, so what you want to do is you want to paint this all black. Everything. The nooks, the crannies, that's what I'm trying to get at. Yes, my hands usually get, messy and dirty and black, but if I go wash them somewhat right away, I'm fine. Also, all winter, I was working on a camp table I had set up in here. So now this is where it gets tricky because I got to move it. Ooh, my Cricut is right in front of me and it's going to have paint all over it. And then I have to paint it from there. I mean, it does get messy. I do have something down on you can see the white on my desk here. This is my crafting desk. This is my Cricut desk. So sometimes I just let the stuff dry, and if I missed an area or something looks a little like loose or oops, it's a little too thick, like I go back. It doesn't take that long to dry. I like to give it like a solid like day just to make sure it's dry, because sometimes I've had issues where I go back and it's not fully like dried yet or whatever, it starts to chip. So anyway. So the first thing I did was a tree, and it turned out okay. It wasn't fabulous. So then I finally ordered some of the stuff. I ordered some better paint, and I ordered the right brushes, and I then started doing Santa on a sleigh, and then I did regular Santa. He's standing there like that. And then I did a fireplace, which is probably one of my favorite things that I did. And all these light up, and they're from Michael's. I think their like base price is like $18 or something, but it's really, I got them on sale, 40% off, or 30% off or whatever. Disclaimer, I have carpal tunnel, ulnar tunnel, something tunnel happening, and after a while, sometimes my fingers go numb, so I have to take a break for a few seconds, which usually when I'm doing this kind of stuff is not that bad. I just take a break. So as you see, I'm trying to get in like all the nooks and crannies. I got these little stars here. So then I'll like the openings and stuff like that too. These light up, which is very nice. I don't know if you can see with the light that's on, but these light up. So what happens with the black base is it kind of prevents the light from coming through, but it also kind of makes it like a little bit nicer in that sense. Because then you don't see all the smudges and stuff like that. Dry brushing is very forgiving. You can mess up, and like I said, if you don't like it, you can paint it black again and start over. I will add some like details like, snow or something like that. And I did have, the snow left over from the winter, from, Christmas time and stuff, but like the real like snow you get from like the dollar store, the real stuff. So yeah, this is pretty much it. You just go through, let it dry. Like I said, I like to give it like a solid day, or longer. Some of the stuff I worked on was a lot longer, and you go from there. And then you pick out your colors. You pick out what color scheme you want to go with. You pick out, what you want to do. And again, if you mess up, you can always come back to it. I have my water with me. Like I said, I have a little, thing here. I'm also going to be working on a sunflower. I'm going to make it a sunflower dish, which is bigger than I anticipated. Thank you, Amazon. I'm a terrible Amazon shopper anything shopper, because I don't know sizes very well. And this is relatively inexpensive to do. The paints and stuff, once you get them, you have them until you run out, obviously. Then there's that. I gotta paint the top of this that you guys can't see. I do have a Lazy Susan that I bought, but it doesn't work so well, and it turns a lot and all that stuff. So yeah, I have a few more things to do. Like I said, I have this little dish, and then I got these planters actually for somebody to do. So then the finished product, when you're done, it looks something like this. Black, all black. You can do the bottom black. I don't, but I get around the edges and stuff. This is a dog and a nutcracker. I'm probably going to do them today, along with some other stuff. It's New Year's Day, and it's my first day off in a while, so I'm not going to do a whole lot. But I think I'm going to stop the video here. I could keep talking while I do this, but nobody wants to hear me ramble. So I'm going to pause, and then I'll come back a little bit later when I'm ready to do my painting. All right, welcome back. I have changed into my painting shirt because I will be using that. So supplies that I need. I have my brushes. I have my dry brushes, which are particular to this project. You want a brush that's, if you see, this has a lot of hairs in one spot. It's condensed and it's hard, and it's nice and rounded. I got a couple different brands, but those are the ones that I like the most. Like, all these are pretty good, and they range from large to, I have one that's teeny tiny, to not so teeny tiny, but different. So anyway, I'm gonna start with probably this one because I used it not that long ago. It's dry. So these are my brushes. I also have some like accent brushes in here that I know that I like to use for like the fine detail. Put it off to the side. So I have my brush, and I have my washcloth, paper towel, whatever kind of material. I have crappy towels that I, old hand towels, old kitchen towels that I use from years ago that I don't use anymore, don't want. I also have my specimen. So I have my little snowman light up guy that is painted black, and he is dry, and he looks pretty good. There's like one or two spots that might need like a little touch up here and there. The good thing about this is that I'm keeping the hat black. So I really need color for the body, color for the mittens and the scarf, the face, which I'll get to, this little band, and then the holly. The colors I decided to go with for now is I'm going to do blue. I'm going to do a blue color here on the scarf and the mittens and the head thing up here. I might do both blue. I'm not really, maybe blue and purple. We'll see. Eyes will be black, so I'll probably just keep them black. I'll put in a little smile, and then I have actually a perfect like orangey color for the nose. So that's what I have for now. So I'm going to start. If you hear the dog in the background, I apologize. She's at the door. She thinks she has FOMO. She's a lot of FOMO. So I have my colors. I have my red. I have my green. I usually add a little bit of gold onto a couple little areas, just like to highlight a little bit. I have white. I have a boatload of white. I have the cheap, crappy white, and then I have good white too. I have a little bit of glitter. I actually got this from a previous project. And I'm going to start with gray, because I'm going to gray the whole entire thing, pretty much except for the hat. I'm not going to, maybe I will. We'll see. Maybe it'll be a completely black hat. I'll probably end up graying the whole entire thing. So I'm going to try to do this as best as I can. I have my palette paper from earlier. I also use, there's palette knives you can use. I don't use them. I typically just use my paintbrush, which probably isn't right, to mix the colors. Okay, great. That just flung everywhere. Awesome. like literally flung everywhere. Hold on. Oh my goodness. I haven't used these in a while. I haven't painted in probably a solid like 2 weeks. So that's probably why it's all a little messed up. And I should probably turn my phone on silent. There we go, just in case. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna put a decent amount of gray down. I tried, you know, whatever, we'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna take my brush. I can't show you, I'm not like any fancy person. I'm gonna dip it in here, in the paint. That's pretty much all you're gonna get from me. Like that. And then I'm gonna take my washcloth, my towel or whatever, get the hair off of it, and I'm just gonna go like this. And pretty much get most of it out. So you see it on there and you see it here. And what this does is it takes most of it off, but also it pushes it into it. So then on something like this, I'm just going to start back and forth, do the gray, back and forth. It's a little bit hard when you do it on like a smooth surface. And then I go back to the paper towel, my towel, get more if I need to. Sometimes I put too much on. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's not enough. I don't necessarily want to get in all the nooks and crannies on this one because the point that I have seen with the dry brushing is, this light's not quite working for me here, is the black background, let's say, gives it depth. It gives it, some of it, the depth. And it also gives it like an old world kind of look. And you don't want to glob it on too much. You just want to do like a small, little thing. You can go back to your paint if you need more and do the same thing. I do it in the same spot. But again, this doesn't have to be perfect. And one of the great things about it is when you're doing this, you actually, it dries pretty quick because you're putting such a light layer on. I do have a fan nearby, in case, but it's pretty simple. I mean, it's not too in-depth. Just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I'm going to dab a little bit back in my paint, brush it off. I'm going to go like back here. And if you see, I'm just doing like long strokes, long strides, not necessarily getting in all the nooks and crannies, because I want to see those lines in that scarf. I want it to be, I don't want to get in the nooks and crannies there because I want that black to pop through. A little bit of shadow down here. Then we're going in front here. I got text messages coming through. Same thing in the front. In hindsight, I could probably just paint all my stuff black, dark gray, but I don't. So you want to kind of go like against the grain, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry. I don't have a great setup here. My desk is a little small, and it's just not exactly like the best setup that I have, but it's what I got. So I'm going to finish this, and actually I have another one that I might just do while I have everything out, and I'm going to pause here. You can see what's happening. You can see it already. You can see the gray and then the black behind. It's spectacular. This is the first time I am doing the snowmen like this. Like I said, I did 2 and I gave them to my mom, and I actually, my hand starts to hurt after a while. She has them in her house already, so I will finish this and come back. All right, I've returned. Both of these are done. I have my fan on. I'm hoping this isn't going to fall because it's going to splatter right into paint if that's the case. I have it precariously placed here, trying to get a better angle so you can see more. Hopefully it doesn't fall that way either. Okay, so both are done. You can see. Now, you can see here, I got a little bit more there than over here. I missed here. I can always go back and hit it with black if I need to. I don't think that I need to. But you can already see it coming to life, right? You can see the grooves. That's basically what it is. That's why I said the groovier the better, because you can see it up and all that stuff. I just mixed together some gray and white, and I'm going to go to make it a lighter gray because it's still pretty dark, and I'm going to go make it a different gray color. I still have some left over because, shocker, I always overdo it. So this is my current gray color that I'm using, and I'm going to put it on a new place on my towel because I don't want to mix it up with the old one, and go to town on this. Pretty much the whole thing. Probably the hat too I'll do, but you see it's a lighter gray. After this level of this coat of gray, I'm going to start switching to white. And that's the nice thing is it doesn't take long. And at the end of the day, the end of whatever, it's 1 o'clock now almost, but at the end of a day, I'm pretty much, a couple hours, I'm pretty much done. So yeah, I found this method to be truly fascinating. It's super easy. You get the immediate result of something, coming through, you see it. And again, it's really easy. And if you don't like it, you can always go back and paint it black. And that's the one thing that Sam's mom, Deb, stressed to me. And I was like, oh my God, that's a great idea. Like this is fabulous. So I'm going to work on these 2. If I knew how to time lapse, I would time lapse this, but I don't know how to do that. I'm not that fancy yet on my phone. Going for a little bit more. A little dab, dab, dab. A little shaky, shake, shake. See, that's a little too much. Let me take a little bit off. And the nice thing too is like you can move it. Like, oh, I put too much there. Well, let me move it over to the other side, or let me move it around. Like you can see, like a little too much I put on there for my liking, but it's okay because I can move it around. It all depends on how much you put on. Right now it looks a little scary, doesn't it? Oh, my finger marks. But it's because I put a little too much on. in no time it'll be looking great. So I feel like I'm Martha Stewart over here, although I'm far from it. Let me finish up these two guys and I'll come back when I'm done. I'll be putting the white on. So I wanted to point out, and it might be a little bit hard to see, but here on the hat, I don't know if you can see that, I'm starting to get white peeking through. It's because the black isn't completely secured on, like sealed in on there. It might also be because it hasn't dried fully yet. I usually just go over it a bunch of times with it, whatever paint I'm using. And again, it's the lid, it's the hat. So I'm going to be putting black back on top of this anyway. But it's, you know, it could be the quality of my black paint. No, it shouldn't be. I use the good black paint. But so there's that on there. So now I'm going to come back with white. Forewarning, I'm using a crappy white paint. I'm trying to just use up all the paint, so I might have to do it multiple times. And I'm gonna go body, arms, face, you know, and the backside, his fat, and the back of his head too. I'm not going to do the gloves, his mittens, the scarf, or the hat, because the hat's gonna be black basically, and then I'm gonna do other colors on it. So I don't need to put the white on areas that I don't. I'm gonna be painting a different color, because then I work my way up from that anyway. So I'm using my crappy white on there. See, like all that globbed on there is way too much. Put it on my towel. Scrubby, scrub, scrub. Sometimes I have a hard time with the white because I'm using the same brush that I've been using the whole time. I just wipe off the excess in between. So sometimes I have a really hard time getting, like, with the white especially. But I'll say I'll probably put 3 layers of white on this because it's pretty much what I've been doing for other things. Snow, the white on Santa, you know, stuff like that. So we'll see. And in this, you know, you get into your little grooves. And, you know, if I get up onto the scarf, it's fine. I just don't want to cover it completely. This is actually probably a little too much that I have on my brush. It's a little wet. But it'll do. Get into some of the grooves. Doesn't have to be all of them. It is windy out there. I put it down. I put it on me. I turn it upside down. You know, just trying not to touch the wet stuff. I mean, it's not like soaking wet, but it's still wet. I guess I turn it upside down. I'm usually turning all around, making this white. I don't know what color I'm going to do the big star yet. Maybe gold. Maybe I'll do the big star like gold or something like that. I haven't figured that out yet. When I painted this for my mom, I actually did... You get messy. That's why I have my messy crappy shirt on. When I painted this for my mom, I actually put like the fake snow on. It's windy and the dog is scared of the wind. So it's not a good combination. So this is her room where she hangs out during the day and a lot of times where she sleeps at night. So she wants to be in here, but I'm not letting her. All right. So I don't know if you can tell. Hard to see the difference between the two right now, but you can. This is whiter than the scarf. The face is whiter than the scarf. I'm going to put this down, do the other one, and come back. I've returned for another round of white. I also keep forgetting to say, when you do this, you don't want to do it too hard. You want to do it light. You don't have to, you're not trying to like shove shit in somewhere, you know, like you want to have light strokes, preferably. Like I said, sometimes you might need to give it a little oomph to get into a nook or cranny if you're trying to do that or something like that. But usually it's light-handed, which is weird for me because I have a very heavy hand. So there's that. And you doing that stroke, doing that, you know, back and forth. Yes, I go different angles and different ways and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's horizontally back and forth. Again, sometimes it differs a little bit, but I also have, you know, I showed you in the beginning of this, I also have a boatload of different sizes. But, you know, for me to do something this size, I'm not gonna, a little bit more paint. For me to do something this size, I'm not gonna do it with a tiny brush. So the more that I put on here, the more, the longer it's gonna take to dry. So light strokes, preferably less paint. I do have a decent amount on the front of it here, but do you see it coming to life? Slowly but surely. She and he, or he and he, or she and she is coming to life. It's kind of cool when you have two, when you're doing two of the same thing, or close to two of the same thing, because while one dries, you can work on the other, and, you know, like I said, I might as well, while I'm here, I might as well do both of them. Yeah, let me, for comparison's sake. This is getting whiter, and this is 2 coats of white, and this. Maybe I'll do 4. It depends on how it works. I have my fan going, and I have all my different paints. So let me tell you about this class I took. So some know the story, some do not know the story. So I signed up for an adult painting class at Keith Valley Middle School in, you know, Hatboro Horsham School District. And I went the first couple nights, and, you know, I enjoy painting rooms. I painted this room in February. It's funny because I was actually really depressed at the time when I painted this room. So I painted, I like to paint the room. It does something to me. It makes me, it grounds me in a weird way. It works my creative side, and it is, don't look a weird divot there. It's very soothing. I put some music on in the background. I don't know if you can hear it. I come up here. You know, I take a break once in a while, go outside to smoke, whatever. But for the most part, it's very soothing to me and therapeutic. So, but painting a room, you know, is something that I enjoy. I painted our bedroom this year. I repainted the bathroom. I painted this room. And I'm not trying to toot my horn here, but I have to say, when I say I did it, I mean I did it. Not that Ryan wouldn't have helped me, but I didn't ask him. I mean, there's a couple things I asked him for help on, but for the most part, it was me. And that's fine. I'm fine with that. So I thought, oh, well, painting will be great for me for, you know, a stress relief. Go to this class first, and I don't have any supplies because we didn't know what we needed. Go out, buy all the supplies. It's oil paint. I know nothing about oil. I don't know the difference between oil and acrylic. Like, I when I say I don't know what I'm doing, I mean I don't know what I'm doing. I do know what I'm doing with this now. So I go to the class, and I wanted to do a picture of Gettysburg, and it was a nice picture, and it wasn't working for me. So the second night I go, fine, tried to paint it. Third night I go, it was once a week. The one main instructor wasn't there. She was at her daughter's wedding in like Virginia or something like that. And she wasn't there. So then there was two instructors. The other instructor, she's very nice. I'm not saying anything bad about her. She was very, very nice. She worked my nerves, and she made me feel like shit multiple times. And it did not make me feel warm and fuzzy inside, and I never went back. She would come and be like, well, what are you doing now? And I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, well, here, do your trees. You need to make your trees bigger. Okay. Like, I don't know how to make trees. I don't know how to make trees bigger. Like, I'm very left-brained. Left brain is like your logical side. That's me. I'm a very logical person. I'm not a very creative, whimsical kind of person. It's just not who I am. It's still a little tacky. The first one. The second one is getting there. The more paint you put on, which I kind of put a lot of paint on the second time, like probably too much, the more tacky it's going to be. It's going to take longer to dry. So she just made me feel like crap, and it really brought up some PTSD that I have from other situations I've been in, and it did not make me feel warm and fuzzy inside, and I did not enjoy it. So I was considering going back, and then I said, nope, I'm not going to go back. And then like a month and a half later, I started doing this stuff, which I enjoy, and nobody yells at me. She didn't yell. It was just a very awkward encounter with her, where she basically do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that. And I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? You know, like, I thought it was, to me, it seemed like the class was more like, I thought it was going to be oh my God, I got paint on my wall. 1, 2, 3, this is what you do. Not, go ahead, just paint. We'll help you make your trees. We'll help you make your clouds. Like I said, I learned some things, and I'm grateful for that. I learned how to mix paint. I learned palette paper. I learned, you know, like the palette. I learned how to make clouds, kind of, you know, and that's pretty much about it. Because then I left. But, you know, it's been working out well. All the stuff that I've made, I actually have 2 things up here that I can show of the stuff that I made, and it looks pretty damn good. So I think maybe just, maybe the ceramics is more my deal. Ceramics, maybe a little bit of the resin. I did do a little bit of resin at one point. This one, oopsie, it's tacky back there. I did do 2 resin trees, actually. And then I have in storage, not in storage, but in the queue, I have, these are resin, and I didn't realize it. I have a sitting deer. She's gonna look really good. And I have 2 of them. And I have standing deers. That's what I was trying to avoid. I have standing deers. And then I have a couple little, well, these are going to be a pain in the ass because they're the material that I don't like, but also because they're so small. I didn't realize they were only like 3 inches tall. I have 3 of these. They're scarecrows. Couple little cute scarecrows. I'm going to get out this hoof. That one. And then this one. They're like shelf sitters or whatever. So that's another time. I'm just trying to fill the void while this dries to show you the next layer. And we're not quite there. Are we? Yeah, we're there. All right. No, not quite there. I will come back. All right, these are a little bit drier now, so I'm going to come back and do the 3rd coat of white on them. They might need a 4th coat, which is fine. Maybe not. It all depends. You know, I step back, I look at it and go, oh yeah, I could use a little bit more. Oops, I missed this spot. Or I am kind of globbing it on a little bit thick right now because I am trying to get it done. It's fine. It'll dry. No big deal. It'll dry. It's also hard because of the it's supposed to be snow. You know, Santa Claus is a little different, you know, like snow on a house or snow that I'm painting on a car or something. You know, that's supposed to be a little bit dirty. Snowmen aren't supposed to be dirty. They're supposed to be clean. This one spot I kind of messed up a little bit, but might have still been a little wet, actually, from previous. So I will do a 3rd coat on these, possibly a 4th coat. Oh yeah, there's way too much paint on there. Way too much. But I'll work it. I'll make it happen. You know, we're not doing anything super crazy in the sense of, oh my God, it has to dry for, you know, hours or something. That was the thing with the oil painting. Oil painting takes 24 hours to dry, which is great and also sucks at the same time. I'm doing a little like stippling in here just so I can get in a couple of grooves on his arm here, just because of location and how big my thing is, but otherwise I do not stipple. You know, I never like I said, I've never been artistic-y like this. I mean, my instructor, Sam's mom, Deb, she is very, very creative, very good with color. She sees life in color, not, you know, black and white. And she's really good at that, at this kind of stuff. Really good. So that's the third coat. I'm thinking a fourth hefty coat will probably solidify it. 2 coats. Now you can see. It's hard to tell. 3 coats. I'm thinking a hefty fourth coat. Again, disclaimer, I'm using shitty paint. If I was using my thicker paint, I probably might only need 2 coats or what have you, but I'm using a bit shittier of a coat, paint. So it's going to take a few more coats than normal, but it's New Year's Day and I got nowhere to go. So I'm killing time and that's fine. So typically what I would do in the fall is I would just cook dinner, you know, 5, 6 o'clock, whatever, eat, and then I would come up here for a couple hours. He would go do his thing or read or watch TV or play his game or whatever, and I would, you know, get creative. And, you know, that part of why I love this is because at the end of my session, 9 out of 10 times, I'm done. I created something. So I'd be done around, you know, 8 o'clock, 7:45, whatever, depending on what time I got up here to begin with, and I'd be done. And I'd have something magnificent that I created, that I liked, that nobody yelled at me about, which is also very important to me, to not get yelled at by people. And again, this is just white. It's not like it's, you know, some crazy colors or something. I do already have planned out the color I'll be doing, the paintbrush I'll be using for the more finer details. That's why I have a variety of them. I actually just got a new set. Which ones? These ones are just their new set I just got. Unfortunately, the original set that I bought, I guess because I leave them in water when I'm done, they started to come apart. So that's my guess, is because I leave them in water when I'm done. But coming along. Okay, I'm back. I took a little bit longer of a break now that you can tell in the video, but I ended up busting out, so I did 4 layers of white and it still wasn't where I wanted it, so I ended up busting out the good apple barrel, multi-surface satin, the white, and I did 2 layers of that because it really does make a difference. I need to realize that the crappy white I need to use just for like mixing paints and making it lighter and stuff like that. So after much conversing with Sam, I decided I'm going to do one of these rose gold, and the other one I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but it's going to be something. So in addition to all the supplies that I already talked about, I always keep paper towels on hand, and because that's a necessity, obviously. And baby wipes. I just started that because now I got my Cricut dirty over here and I got paint on my walls. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this Copper Rose. Now this is the crappy brand again, so we'll see how it goes. But it shouldn't be too bad. This might need a lot of layers. I'm gonna go with a smaller brush. It's dry. When I'm done with all my brushes, I throw them in my solo cup. I have a little red solo cup here, which is currently black, with water in it. And I'm not done with this yet, I don't know, so I'm gonna put it off to the side. And then I take it downstairs and I clean it up. So, right, got the rose gold. Where am I gonna go here? So, I'm going to start, I don't know where I'm going to start. I'm going to start with the mittens, see how this goes. And then, I just have to try to remember to get the right, like, I don't know if it looks like rose gold. The right angle, too, because I don't want to get it in the groove so much. A little bit there. When I go back and do like the fine details, sometimes I don't mind if I have a little bit more paint on my brush, because I am doing the fine details, like when I go to do the holly and stuff like that. You know, I kind of don't, oh my God, I can't say, kind of don't mind that as much. You can see the rose gold mittens. And then for the scarf, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go back and forth. Like I said before, this is very forgiving. This might not look so good, actually. I might have to do a bunch of layers. We'll see. Because I got some of the white on it, so there's that. It's very forgiving. It's not like exact lining or anything like that. So this will definitely take a few coats of the dry brushing to make it look good. And like I said, if I don't like it, or the color's not working, or it just doesn't look good, or I feel like I should have white over it, whatever, I can always come back or say, screw it, the rose gold doesn't look good. I'm going to do black or, you know, gray or something, or blue, like I was going to originally do blue. But you can see it coming along. Like I said, definitely going to need more layers, more coats. But I can use the smaller paintbrush, dry brush, sorry, to get into those spots. And then here, on the little areas here, I'm totally going against the grain. Not there so much, but over in this area, because then you can still, I don't know if this light's good, bad, I can't tell. I mean, I like the light, but you can still see the grooves, which is the goal of all of it. Do his her. Well, now this is a little bit different because this is soft. This is like, there's no grooves to it. So I'm just gently going to go through it and basically just use the dry brush as a paintbrush. Let me turn this the other way so you can see. I'm still going to use it. Robin, I'm not sure which Robin that is. Not sure if it's Robin Carrison or Robin Cruz. So yeah, when it comes to like these like finer details, I kind of just like leave it. I don't have to do that whole dry brushing thing because there's not a whole lot happening on its head, you know, on that area. I think I like the rose golds. I think I'm going to do rose gold and bronze. I'll be rose gold and he'll be bronze. Again, in this instance, I will just use the same brush and then just clean it off a little bit in between. I'll like, what I'll do is I'll like pull this back and just like get some of the rose gold or, you know, gray off or whatever. Because I use that one brush for 3 different colors. So there's that. Ooh, the bronze is going to look good. We'll see. These, I don't know if I said this already, these are going to go in my front window. Ooh, the bronze. Yeah, that's how I'm going to go. Sorry, I'm like, is this the way I want to go? I was a little messy with my white, so some of the mittens are white already. Like, part of the mittens are white already, so it's making it a little challenging to paint. That's why I think there might have to be multiple layers. But honestly, doing the details is not nearly as bad as doing the whole thing. It's just, you know, you got to be detail oriented, I guess, a little bit. Just got to be into it. And that's the best part is like, you know, coming up here, whatever, and just getting in the groove, getting in the mindset of what I'm going to do. So can you tell the difference between the bronze? Oh, you can! Oh, I love it. Oh, I might have to give one of these to Sam. Oh, no. Oh, no, because I want it. So yeah, when you're doing like the finer details, you want to be a little bit less crazy with the brush and make it a little bit nicer. Again, not all my shit is perfect, and that is fine. And I'm well aware of it. You know, sometimes there's issues with color, or like I said, things don't stick the way that they're supposed to. Too much, too little. Yeah. You know what's funny-ish, I guess you could say, is Ryan's office theme is copper. I don't have a whole lot of rose gold, actually. My old job, I was Accelerate, Power Back, ProMedica, whatever the fuck you want to call it. My office was gold. I had a lot of gold stuff in my office when I had an office. I was fancy. Had my own office for a minute. So like right here, I just got some bronze on his face. I could just go back with some white and touch it up. It doesn't have to be like a dry brush either. It could just be like literally like a regular brush. And then I'll do around there, probably come back and do 1 or 2 more coats because there's some areas that need a little love. And I still have to decide what I'm going to do for the star. Because I can paint that a different color. Maybe gold. Maybe silver. Maybe something with glitter. Because I also can add glitter. We'll see. All right, welcome back. So while I was gone, I did the rose gold. I did a second coat on that, and then I also put black on the top. I did do dry brushing on the top of the hat, and then this is the bronze. What kind of looks gold, but I guess bronze kind of does look gold. It's definitely not gold. So there's that. I did that while we were gone. Just easier. I still have to fix this little spot back here on this guy, but now I'm going to work on, I did his eyes. I did black ink on his eyes. I'm going to work on the holly. So I already poured my red and my green, and I'm just looking for the right brush to use. I don't know what brush to use. This is too small. I might end up using this one. This one's really weird. It's like triangled off almost, and but it works really well for that stuff. I would have considered using this, but I have it black. It's hard to get from black to a different color. I can go gray to white, or white to black, or red to pink. It's hard to go from black to nothing, to red or green. Yeah, this isn't really a dry brush though. This is well, I guess it is a dry brush. Anyway, I think I'm going to use that one with, like I said, I have a mixture of brushes here. That's too big, and it needs to be small. I should have done this before I started back up. Okay, with that. Okay. So, let me turn this around. So this is what my thing ends up looking like. The white is here, but it's, you know, all my different colors I put in different spots. So like the different grays, the different whites I put in 2 different spots. And then I end up using this whole thing. Like I haven't, this is a fresh one for me, but I'll literally like inside out, do all the sides, like why not? And then I just throw it away. I have so many of these. That's why I'm like, I don't care. I have so many of them. So I'm going to start with the rose gold one, and fudge. So I'm going to use a small brush. I'm going to dip it in the red a little bit. I have dog hair on this thing, so that doesn't help. Take it apart. For this, I am going to do like a circular-ish motion. This, I might end up just like I just did, painting it straight on there because it's small and it's hard to do with the dry brushing. So like I literally just, I took way too much out of that tube and just get the red on there. I'll let that dry for a minute. Like I said, sometimes it's just, I'll dry brush the green on, but sometimes it is a little hard just to get the stuff on. I did a lot of green and red holly and wreaths and stuff like that this year. The churches came with it. The car came with it in the front. So there was a lot of that. So I'll go back and do that. Let that dry. In the meantime, I'm going to get my green ready. Green tip. Wipey wipey. I'm going to go straight onto the green. I don't know if you guys can see this. And I'm just going to, which way do I want to do this? That way. I want to go the opposite way that it actually goes. So I want to try to preserve some of the green holly, like the green in the veining of the leaf, but if you can't, you can't. So yeah, doing the details is so much different than, you know, all of the white shit that I did. Way different. And it's, again, a small amount. I can get away with this because it's a little bit bigger. The holly area is a little bit bigger, but, you know, I'm going to have to put another coat on. I know that. And then typically what I was doing before is either putting like a little bit of white for like a little bit of snow, or I was putting gold on, actually, just as a little something. But I might do silver, actually, since I have rose gold and bronze, just to give it a little shimmer. That do its thing. Come back to this. At this point, the red is dry. I wouldn't go like, you know, betting your life on it, but it's dry enough that I could put another coat on. And it's nice because I'm just making sure you can be seen. You know, I never know how those people do like the overhead. They must have a thing like right here or something, but that must also be really annoying. I mean, and like this is so dry already that like I literally can go right into the green. Most of the time I probably take off too much paint. I pour too much paint, but I don't care. Try to get some of the edges. Sorry. Lighting is always a struggle in this house, for one. And also in this room. You know, the ceiling fan sucks. It's just shitty. Oh my god, it's almost 3 o'clock. I've been up here all day. Taking my time a little bit because I don't care, because I'm off. Although I will have to call my people for tomorrow. It is a little bit backbreaking. Go back to the red. My watch is telling me to stand up because I'm lazy, which means it'll be break time. That's pretty good, actually. So I don't know if you can tell, but you can see the veining a little bit, and that's what makes it a little bit more 3D. And then once everything's done, I'll put a little bit of, I'm gonna do a little bit of silver, a smidge bit silver. So for that, I'll get like, this is a regular brush. Tiny, I don't know if there's a number or a name to it, because I don't know what any of them are except for a mop brush and a fan brush, but I'll get this and I'll just do a little bit. Ew. Ew. I haven't, so, December 20th, I guess it was, 21st, whatever that Friday was, that Saturday, before Christmas, we went to the Earth, Wind & Fire concert, and I threw my back out. So I haven't done this since then, actually, or before then. So my stuff's a little grainy. Tiny little bit. Put that in there, yeah, that's perfect. I don't need to do any more of that. Oh, maybe that's a little too much. So like I said, I just put a little bit of silver. You're not gonna be able to tell. A little bit of silver on there, just to give it a little something. And literally the amount I pulled out was way too much. I should have just dunked my thing in the, should have just dumped it in there. It's a little sheen. So I did the eyes already. I'm done with those. I need to do I will keep this paintbrush, so I will just dab it, because it was just silver. I need to do the noses, which is easy. Again, this is at the point now where you just start like painting the stuff on. You can do that. Sometimes you might need a, you know, couple Johns. Like I'll do two doses, two whatever's on the noses here. 2 coats. 2 coats primer, 2 coats paint. Let that dry. So actually for the nose, the color that I'm using it's an acrylic paint, Fine Artist Materials. It's orange yellow, which is nice. And I have glitter, which I might use. in a couple spots. Eyes will stay like that, and then I need red and a very, very, very fine thing. I also have a thing of paintbrushes. Thank you, pickle jar. And I actually bought. I think I have some in here. Oh no, that's not fine enough. That's in the wrong spot. I need something very, 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 very fine for the smile. Something like that, or that. Oh yeah, that's good. I think that's the one. I know there's different kinds of names for the brushes and the numbers and stuff, but anyway, no, that's not the right one. You know, you figure out what works and what doesn't after a while, you know? That's probably better. Ooh. I used that one before for something. Probably the same thing. Alright. It's got red on it already. So I'll do a little red smile. I'm just following the lines on here. And feel free, like, when you're doing this, to, like, completely turn your thing upside down to whatever angle you need it to be at to get the job done, per se. You know, like, whatever angle it needs to be at to get it done, do it. God, that's way too much red. Put that aside while I'm here. Let me do another coat on the nose. And let me get another coat on this nose. And, like, even the paint stuff dries fairly quick. Again, because you're not really gobbing it on. Gobbing, whatever. I think I'll do another round at the lips, the smile. Because that's one of the spots that is black still, because it's a groove. So when I'm done this, I let it dry. I take pictures, I turn it on, you know, take a picture, send it to everybody, you know, whatever. When I'm done this, I let it sit for, you know, at least a day or whatever, come back, check it out. I will put all my brushes in the thing and I will take it downstairs. So the paint brushes, I will just rinse off here with a paper towel. The dry brushes, I will, hence why it looks like this, I will take downstairs, rinse them out in the sink, and then I'll put them in like Dawn, you know, dish detergent or whatever. Actually, I should probably use Dawn because I'm using my Thieves and it's not working so well. Little Dawn, and I leave it there overnight, and then in the morning I'll come and I'll like really like scrub it on my fingers when I'm done, and then make sure all the shit comes out, and then, you know, do that, whatever. But just don't know what color to paint my star. That's my only question. I don't know. So that's it. It's pretty much done. Minus the star not being done. Let me decrease this a little bit. There we go. Minus the star not being done, it's pretty much done. So this went from being bisque to black to this beautiful little thing here, and it lights up. This one lights up. The ones from Michael's light up. There we go. It's a little too dark. Almost looks like he's crying. So he lights up, and here's the final tour. His eyes look a little creepy right now, and you know, I might go back and do a little touch up here and there, but it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, look, there's black there. Fine. It's fine. It's okay. There's black up in here. Okay, that's fine. I have to do the star, obviously. And then I have to figure out what I'm going to do in the crooks there. I think I have to put white, actually. And you got his face, creepy eyes, nose, you know, and you got the hat and everything. So, yeah, he's, jumping up again. He's, pretty much done, actually. I want to go back and do some of the nooks and crannies I have to do with his, white. I should do that now. That's it. So I decided to do the stars a light blue color, only because I always associate like January. So this is from like my January decor. I always associate January with like a blue color, and I'm probably just gonna leave it the way that it goes on. I don't want to like mess it up too much or make it too dark. So I mixed together a blue. I had the Midnight Sapphire, and I mixed it together with some white. And I don't mind the color that's coming out actually, and how it's going on. Let's see. Looks a little weird, but also I'm doing, you know, a winter theme, not a Christmas theme. I got holly at the top, so it's all good. But I kind of like it to be a little bit on the, this is my color, the, like rustic-y side, I guess you could say, not quite like perfection. And that's hard for me because try to be a perfectionist kind of person, but that's something that I'm trying to work on, is to not be that kind of person. Type A. Not that being type A personality is a bad thing, but I'm realizing that it's not worth the stress. You know, it's not worth the aggravation and the stress. Yeah, you still have to be that way in some way, shape, or form. I'm really like off to the side, sorry. In some way, you know, shape and form, but I can also, I can also be a little lax with it, you know? Not everything's got to be go, go, go. Not everything's got to be cray, cray, cray. So, just a little touching up here. I don't know if this is the right way to do any of this. I could be doing it completely wrong. But again, I've had success with it, so I keep doing it. Cute. Uh-oh. Now I feel like I need to do another coat on this guy. Actually, I think I'm going to put glitter on this one. So for Christmas, I made, well, I painted regularly. Kathy and Tim can't burn a truck, which they loved, I guess. I'm kidding, they did. And then my parents, I did my dad a car with presents on top. And then for Christmas, for my mom, I made her a church per her request, a very gray church. She wanted a gray church with a gray door and gray walls and gray life. And I said, no, too much gray. You're getting red doors, Mom. She got red doors. My nephew, I did a train for... There's a lot. So I'm gonna let this dry. I have some DecoArt Galaxy glitter that I'm going to use. I'm just gonna put this on with like a regular paintbrush. Oh wait, no, sorry, I'm not gonna do that. I'm going to do this little thing that I got from a kit of some sort. Most of the time when I get stuff that's in a kit, like those little snowmen. I don't know if I shared on this one or when I was on Instagram. Sometimes you get like the paints that come in like the long, like tubey things like this, and you get like crappy paintbrushes. I save the paintbrushes because why not? I could use them for crap. But did I save them? Oh yeah, I did. But they're usually crap, like crap. No, I just saw one. Like this. This is a crap brush. This is not a good brush. Actually, it's good for dry brushing probably. But use a brush that has a little bit of a thickness to it. Anyway, find a brush, use it, put it on. I'll use this one. Put a little bit of the where'd it go? Color on, which is falling apart. I'm gonna put it on the star. And I could always go back and say I don't like this. I'm not keeping it like this. This I will glob on. I'll try to make it nice. But I will glob on just because the way that this is, it's very thick. Oops. Oh, not quite dry enough. Shit's starting to come off. It's okay. But when I've done it with other things, I do kind of glob it on a little bit. And then it dries. It doesn't leave like a weird residue or anything. It dries pretty well, actually. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's starting to come off the paint. Oh, well. That's it. And as the drink guy would say, and there you have it. There you have it. This is, I still have to fix that, dry brushing a ceramic. That lights up. Don't forget to put your initial and the year on the bottom, which I'm going to do right now. I have color pens, and I'm going to pick a random color of purple. And I'm going to mark it EW 2025. Disclaimer, no disclaimers here. I have not done this yet, but Deb has suggested to use Decorative Crafts clear acrylic sealer outside, spray paint, plenty of ventilation. I don't do that. I mean, I have not done it to any of my items yet. I didn't do it to the ones that I gave out for Christmas, and I haven't done it to any of the ones that I have. It hasn't been warm enough to do it. But if you're packaging it, just make sure you package it up good. You can do this on it as well, but like I said, I have not done that yet. So, that's how you do it. It's so cute. Let me turn this down again a little bit. So cute. I got my rose gold and my gold. It didn't take that long. It took a little bit longer because I did both and because I used the crappy paint. When you're done with your brushes, throw them into your water, rinse them out, dry them, let them dry. I let them dry flat, not upside down, because then the water will get into it upside down. Or I'll put them in like this and let them dry. Let this dry for a solid like 24-ish hours and call it a day. Any questions? Feel free to leave a comment. Hit like and subscribe. I don't know. That's what people say that have followers. I have none. So I'm so happy. They turned out so good. If I felt like it wasn't white enough, I could definitely go back and add some more. I don't. I think it's fine. Get rid of your paper, your palette paper, your, whatever. Clean up and call it a day. Well, thank you for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed this, and hopefully it's not 4 hours long like it seems like it took me to do this, but I did stop and eat lunch in between and get dinner ready for later, so there's that. But all right. Enjoy. Thank you, guys, and happy dry brushing. And, of course, I can't finish this without saying thanks to Deb. She taught me how to do this. Like I said in the beginning, literally through the phone, and it was amazing. And it's been life-changing. Seriously, it's been life-altering, dear. That it's something that I can do, and it makes me happy, and boom, I have a project at the end, I'm done, and I like it, and all that stuff. So, yeah. These are my guys. All right, have a good one.